take some of the load off of what he's being asked to do right now, he could be a very good team's second best player.
Where else does that happen?
Where else does it happen? You mean like in the NBA or with
successful NBA teams? Yeah.
I guess like it's hard to look at other teams and be like, well, if we just get a Jason Tatum, like he could be as good as like as valuable as Jaylen Brown. Like a different skill set is, like he's got a completely different skill set than somebody like Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown,
okay, so that's exactly what he needs to be, though. Is that like
he needs to be
in
the
order
one
to be an elite team like Boston? We would essentially need to hope we hit gold with one of the next couple.
Yeah, but I do
picks.
think that he could be a good. I don't know if it has to be a lottery pick or if it's a trade or free agency, but like this is the predicament that the Pistons are always in, and it's very unique to the Pistons in Detroit sports because we, like in baseball, you could just throw a bunch of money at somebody and not have to worry about it because it's the salary cap, and then like football, like we have drafted, maybe like two of the best skilled players in the history of the game, and Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders.
Yep.
So it happens a lot more in other sports. The situation that the Pistons have always been in is that they're not a free agent destination. Right. The salary cap is a lot more strict. We just haven't done a good job of attracting players here. We never have been a free agent destination. So I just I look at that, the history of that in terms of like what Troy Weaver has to do to fix this team. And it's like, it's such an obstacle. And it's part of the reason that I think that, he did it the way that he was trying to do it, which is like, just stockpile as many draft picks as you can.
Yeah.
Like the first year in, he took 3 people in the first round.
Yep.
Last year, he took 2.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's got to be just you land on gold in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't get the trade in, I mean, we can't get the contract. Although, aren't there like isn't there likely some new CBA things that are gonna cause guys to have to move around a lot more? I mean, to lower.
I think the end result of that is going to be that we're gonna see like these super teams broken up quicker. But I don't think that the final beneficiary of that is going to be teams like the Pistons. I think what happens is they'll just bounce around the big market teams, Like, if like New York and Brooklyn are on, different schedules when it comes to those big luxury tax implications, like the aprons that they're calling them.
Right.
I think you'll just see teams going from the Lakers to the Clippers to the Knicks to the Nets to the, maybe the Bulls, maybe the Warriors. But I don't think all of a sudden, the Pistons, the Thunder, teams like that will be like the beneficiaries of these new tax rules.
Got it.
So it just has never happened. It's like we never get that guy. We're always, like if we look at like 2024 free agents, I think like Tyrese Maxey is one of the more exciting ones. He'll never, like he would have to leave Philly first of all. Like why would he do that? He's their second best player. They're probably going to give him the max.
Yep.
And if he were to go, we're not going to be the only team offering him the max. Like half the NBA would, they'd figure out ways to, put that offer in front of him and move some contracts around to make that a reality. So would he come here? Absolutely not. And then, you go down the list, like you've got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Neither of those guys are coming here. I don't know that they help us anyway, unless we get like 2 of them at the same time.
If those two dudes uproot from the Clippers where they like orchestrated their home to be together
Yeah,
because they're, I don't know, maybe from there or something.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but nope, they're like, fuck it, fuck the Clippers. We still want to try to do this, but we want to go to do it in Detroit instead
Yeah.
with Cade.
Yeah. So there has to be that consideration when you think about like who do you go after, or how do you fix this team?
Right.
And we don't ever consider that as a fan base. Like that's why I swore off sports radio a long time ago, because I just got sick of like the stupidity. Just like these, like fake solutions. Like at least take into consideration who we are, where we are, what we have, what we can offer. The first name that comes up that seems like, oh, maybe there's a reasonable chance that he would come here is like Pascal Siakam.
Because he's been in Toronto.
I love Siakam, but we just went over like one of the biggest problems with this team. Like they're historically bad in so many ways, but 3-point shooting, they're one of the worst shooting teams of all time.
Right.
Siakam's not a 3-point shooter.
Right. He's not going to help with that
at all. So that doesn't help with our spacing. Now maybe like you kind of like reconstruct the roster to take into account that now you have him that can't shoot threes, and maybe one other player in the start. Like if it's Duran or something that can't shoot threes.
It's impossible in this league to have two dudes that just straight up can't shoot threes.
Right. The way that the spacing is in today's NBA, like you have to have it.
Okay, we found our second god. What's amazing is that we started a walkthrough of all the Pistons starting at Cade, and we've been talking about free agents for the past like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean it's like we can go through the roster.
Oh, the game has been on for 15 minutes. I do intend to go through the roster. That's what I want to do. But let's pause and let's handle this god real quick. I'm gonna put the Pistons game on instead. The Pacers are smoking that Bucks over here. I also had this idea that I could figure out how to find a game. I might even try to do it. I don't think there's anybody watching the show. Oh, I did get somebody that left a message. I got a spam message left for me on one of my chats.
Is it on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was on YouTube.
Nobody's commented on YouTube. I have no idea how many people are watching, but I could look at it.
One person is watching, and I think it's me.
Perfect. Okay, so who cares? Okay, but I still want to see if I can make this work. I had this idea.
I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this god's name.
Yeah, you work on that. Okay. I've never figured it out, so how do you pronounce
silent letters?
Your is the beginning.
Yredelemnal. Either the M or the N has to be silent. That's like a
Yredelemnal. No.
Yredelemnal.
Yredelemnal. Dark god, worshipped by those seeking powers over death. Followers can reap legions of servile undead and gain a number of other useful powers. So basically what this guy does is he'll turn people on this that I kill into zombie servants of me, but they can never leave this floor. So once we go to D4, they won't be able to come with me anymore.
You just have to zombify more people.
You have to zombify more people on the next floor to take advantage of the zombie things, which is pretty cool. But we could have a legion of zombies fight. We could throw rocks at things, and then once they get hit with the rocks, they turn into zombies. Is that part of what we want to do? I don't know.
That seems kind of cool, but I'm coming at this not knowing what other gods there are.
Yeah, that's a good point. Check this out. I think I'm doing something really. Check out.
Oh wait.
Check out the YouTube for a minute. I think I've done something amazing.
Are you doing like some picture-in-picture thing where I can watch this basketball game, or is it just gonna be the game
totally.
cast?
It's the game cast, not the. I can't show the game too. I think I would get in trouble for that.
Got it. Very cool.
That's pretty cool, right? Oh, it's a little ahead of my stream. It's a little ahead of my the game. It's funny. The cable I'm watching is on lag.
Spoiler
compared to
alert.
this. I got a spoiler of what's about to happen on this play.
Yeah, they don't have that 5-second delay.
But what's
on
interesting is that there will be the 5-second delay on the YouTube stream because of my delay on the YouTube stream. So
yeah, so I have to just figure out what I'm lagging behind in.
yeah, I'm not gonna watch that live. Okay, so we're not gonna go with Yredelemnal, not yet at least.
No, but I'm intrigued.
Interestingly, we found another altar to Nemelex, which is rare.
What happened? Let me see. It says followers can reap legions of servile undead and gain a number of other useful powers. Okay, so there's some potential with that one.
Yeah. Oh wait, I saw another one way up here. I saw one up in the north that we couldn't get to yet because there was a bad guy that I was too scared of to deal with. Okay, Pistons wise, we're not gonna get good free agents, so we got to win it through the draft or trade.
Draft and trades, or like
because that's where we got Rashid
the other
from.
part. Yeah, the other part is not like relying on free agency to find the one solution. It's more like use free agency to find what I thought was going to happen with, what
Joe
we did
Harris
this like
Baghdad.
Harris, and did we trade for Monty Morris, or was that a free agent signing?
No, that's a free agent signing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, the answer then becomes like, do we find a couple role players and then see the development in our young core enough to start to make a stride? And
a reminder, like the Spurs only have 2 more wins.
Right.
Okay. So Cade at the top. Who's number 2 on the list? Who's the number 2 most important Piston in your opinion right now?
I think the highest ceiling is maybe Duran.
I think so too.
There's
I actually think more highly of Duran than Cade right now.
Yeah, but Duran is just a force. Like Duran could be, like the most unstoppable Piston, if he puts it all together. Because like he's 20 years old and just a giant.
He's
like
huge,
super strong.
And he's still got multiple years of growth left.
Yeah, his rebounding is there. I think his defense is getting there. I think like when he's locked in, when he's not like, like a half step behind, he's a defensive force.
Yeah.
And I think that like I've seen enough on offense to think that like okay, he could be like a bully on that side of the court too. But I also, despite the fact that Asar hasn't been playing, like I adore Asar Thompson. I think
I love him. I truly love
him.
He's
so fun to watch.
Why is he not getting more minutes?
I don't know.
He's so fun to watch, especially defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And his rebounding, he was there. Everybody was going nuts about how great a rebounder he was at the end of November.
Yeah.
And it was just like folks were like, this guy is almost leading the league in rebounding as a small forward.
As a small forward and a rookie. And he was also, top 3 or 4 in blocks, and he was getting a ton of steals. And you just saw that he had, like there was like this magnetic force between him and the basketball. Like he always seemed to like be in the right spot, or
so where are his minutes, baby?
I don't know. I mean,
so this is Monty again.
I think part of it is that like we can't score, and
right, he can't score.
Yeah, and he really can't score. Like like his shot's way off.
Yeah.
His scoring, a lot of it just comes from like making space for himself.
Yeah.
Or offensive rebounds, or like getting in a transition. We just haven't had a lot of those opportunities. I I do think that he's the type of player that's going to get good at certain things. Like, I don't think he's never going to be a good 3-point shooter. I think that that's something that he's probably going to work on for the next 2 or 3 seasons and really improve that to the point where he's going to be like a serious threat.
Bruce Bowen.
Yeah. Like, I don't know that Bruce Bowen was always a good 3-point shooter, but like that was his role. Like he just like camped out hit
there,
corner threes and
no offensive presence other than that, but he was a glove on defense.
Yeah, sometimes he would kick Wally Zerbiak in the face, and you know, you can count on him for that.
So I wanted to hear, you went off on positivity for Duren. You said he's sometimes absent on offense and defense. I watched him get burned by a guard just now. Just completely let the layup in.
Duren did?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The 2-man game between Cade and Duren is very it would be an amazing effective thing if they can figure that out. But the problem is that Duren can't pop. So he can only go on he can only roll. And that could work though. If he can get better passer or something. He's crushing on the boards right now. So would you jump to Asar, but would you put Asar as number 3rd most important?
I think so, because
before we go to Asar, let's talk about Gozag the Greedy.
Let me get back to this.
Gozag the Greedy teaches the world belongs to the rich. Those accepting this principle may exchange their gold for divine assistance. Followers of Gozag do not earn piety. The only way to impress this god is by amassing a fortune and worshippers may request as much assistance as they can afford. Fortunately, Gozag's worshippers are said to have the touch of gold. And basically what happens is sometimes dudes will be distracted if they see gold. Instead of fight us, they'll look at gold. And also, bad guys turn into gold a lot more often. And then later, once we have enough gold, we can, I guess we can petition Gozag to we can pay for free effects on us, but we can't. It's all sorts of different effects, but we can pay him to give us an effect. That other guy, we had to pull a card to get a random effect, and this guy will pay us to give a random effect.
Huh. I don't know. I kind of like the zombie one better.
The zombie one's better than this for sure. I think this one might be more powerful to skillful players. I'm just gonna steal all his gold and leave.
But we're just a talentless troll.
We're just this troll. Oh, I just killed I don't know if you saw that, but I just killed a ball python. Or no, I just ran it over. I killed a ball python, and I was going so fast that I killed it by ball. Okay, back to Asar. He's number 3. Over Ivy.
Yeah, I think so. I think because, Ivy to me can also be really good. I had some hope with him because of his athleticism more than anything. Like his speed, his fearlessness going towards the basket.
That's
those
for me. That's why
those were the 2 things that excited me about drafting him. You're like, oh, did we get kind of like a Ja Morant light or something like that? But
yes,
he doesn't play like Ja.